All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to look at a hidden framework that pretty much shapes all of our lives. And we're going to do it by connecting three things you've probably never heard in the same sentence: family, cryptocurrency, and the computer mouse. I know, but you're going to see how they're all part of this single powerful journey. It really does sound like the setup to a really weird joke, doesn't it? But stick with me here. I promise, by the end of this, you'll see how each one is a crucial stop on this universal path, a kind of hero's journey that, well, every single one of us is on. You see, every one of us starts our story in the exact same way. We're born into a system that's already up and running. This is our first world, and its rules, they're the very first ones we ever learn.
And at the very heart of that beginning is, of course, the family. It's so much more than just a group of people, right? It's our first team. It's the blueprint, the instruction manual, from which we learn how to navigate pretty much every other relationship and community we'll ever be a part of.
Think about it. This is where we get our core programming. The family is like our school of deeper humanity. Our parents, they're our first teachers. And it's with them that we learn the absolute fundamentals of love, respect, cooperation, the very skills we need to become good citizens out in the wider world. So once we leave that first system, we step into a much bigger arena, one that's just full of complex new systems. And this next stage of the journey, it's all about learning the rules of the game and figuring out how to play it well. Take the world of investing, for example. It can feel super mysterious, really complicated, right? But at its core, it's just a system with a set of rules. And for those who can actually master them, it's like being handed a treasure map that points you right to where X marks the spot. And this is how you demystify a system like crypto. Success here isn't just about luck, it's a strategy. It's about getting your hands on the right tools. It's about managing risk, diversifying your assets, kind of like hitting a buffet, and of course, watching the market like a hawk. It's a game of skill, not just a game of chance.
But then, what if you're not happy just playing the game? Some people look at the world, and instead of just learning the rules, they decide to build a whole new game board, one that can elevate all of us.
Douglas Engelbart is the perfect example of this. This guy didn't just see computers as tools, he saw them as a way to solve humanity's biggest, gnarliest problems. His vision led to this legendary 1968 demo. They called it the mother of all demos, where he unveiled the mouse, Windows, video conferencing. He didn't just play the game, he built the entire world we're all playing in right now.
But here's the thing. Whether you're mastering a system or building a new one, the hero's journey is never that simple. Eventually, there comes a point when the systems we trust start to feel less like a guide and more like a prison. The code starts to break down. And suddenly, what was always just subtext becomes the actual text. What used to be a set of rules to help you, well, it becomes a threat. The room for growth just vanishes, and it's replaced by an ultimatum with some seriously high stakes.
And that kind of external pressure, man, it creates internal chaos. You get this feeling of being completely trapped, like your own mind is just collapsing under the weight of a system that doesn't make any sense anymore. The world feels small, and so do you.
And this crisis, it starts to feel bigger than just you. You start to see the institutions that are supposed to support you, whether it's the church or the government, as hollow, self-serving. You literally witness the system eating itself. And that leads to this feeling of being completely invisible, completely invalidated. You're speaking your truth, you're laying out the facts, but the system just refuses to listen. You're just left shouting into a void.
So this is the moment of crisis. But in every hero's journey, the deepest crisis is also the greatest opportunity. This is the turning point, where you stop fighting the system and you start becoming the architect of a new one.
Now this is such a powerful way to reframe everything. What if your pain isn't a sign that you're broken, but a sign that you are a healthy, evolving spirit that's clashing with a rigid, outdated system? The problem isn't you, it's the broken code you're trying to run on. And here you can see the two opposing forces, right? On one side, you've got the system. It's stuck in the past, just singing the same old tired song. And on the other, you have the sovereign spirit, operating from hope, ready to compose a totally new harmony. And this is the big revelation. You have the power. You can stop being just a character in someone else's broken story and become the architect of your own reality, built on your own terms.
It's kind of like that movie Dark City, where the hero realizes his entire world is a fabrication. The second he sees the hidden blueprint of the system, he gains the power to reshape it with his mind. Understanding the code is the key to rewriting it.
And that brings us to the final stage of this incredible journey. After you've mastered the rules, broken free from them, and designed your own, what's left? Well, you are. You become the source code.
The conflict just ends. The struggle against all those external systems, it just stops. Why? Because you found the unshakable system inside yourself. All the noise fades away, and the only thing left is your own living, breathing truth.
This is the ultimate declaration of self-sovereignty. It basically means that every experience, every mistake, every time you fall, it's not a failure anymore. It's just more material for your story. You are the author, and every single moment of your life becomes a sacred part of your text. And in the end, this entire complex journey boils down to the simplest, most powerful instruction of all. Be you. And with that freedom, the only question left to ask is, what new world are you going to build?